Hey everyone, my name is Michelle. I'm a therapist in the Seattle, Washington area with my practice Next Chapter Counseling. And I'm going to be answering the question today of should you stay in a relationship if you've been cheated on? This is a question that for some people may feel very black and white, and for other people might feel like a little bit more of a gray area. For lots of people, if you ask them, what's your deal breaker for a relationship? They will say, if I'm cheated on. And that makes a lot of sense, right? When you are agreeing to be in a relationship with somebody, whether it's a monogamous relationship or a polyamorous relationship, cheating can happen. And it's one of the most hurtful, painful things that you can experience when you're in a relationship is that betrayal. So I want to start off by saying that this video is meant to just be food for thought. There is not a right or a wrong answer here. Each relationship is different. Each story is different. And ultimately, you and your partner are going to have to make the call on if your relationship can be salvaged and if the two of you want to work on it or go separate ways after the cheating has been brought to light. So today I'm just giving an argument for and an argument against staying together after cheating has taken place. Take it with a grain of salt though. Do your own thinking, do your own considering on what's going to feel best for you. So I'm going to start off with making a case for why maybe you ought to consider staying with your partner even after cheating has occurred. So there are circumstances where cheating happens, and I don't want to say that it's like minor cheating, because no cheating is really minor. But there's a big difference between somebody who has a one-time affair and somebody who's had a 15-year-long relationship behind your back, and you guys have been married for, 25 years. In my mind, those are not created equal. The pain, the hurt, it's the same, but those have very different flavors to them. And if it's something that in your relationship you discover some cheating and your partner is genuinely remorseful about what happened, genuinely wants to be with you, regrets the affair, especially if the affair was shorter term, there can be some hope here for reuniting if both of you decide to do it. This is not easy work. This is really hard work, and I highly recommend seeking out a couples therapist. Couples therapists, they're built for this. This is the number one thing that brings people into couples therapy is because some cheating occurred and there was infidelity. Make an appointment with a couples therapist ASAP to start talking and working through rebuilding trust. There are tons and tons and tons of books out there to help walk you through this. Some written by therapists, psychologists, others written by people who they were cheated on and they stayed with their partner and they were able to rebuild. So there's lots of different unique perspectives out there of what this healing process can look like. But can it happen? It can, and it does. The couples stay together and they can become stronger after infidelity has occurred because they really take a close look at what precipitated and led up to the infidelity happening. The person who did do the cheating apologizes and truly makes amends. Again, you typically need the help of a therapist to really do that correctly in a way that's going to feel healing for the person who was hurt and cheated on. And the therapist can help the person who was cheated on discover what forgiveness looks like and how ready they are to do that. It is going to be really hard to keep the relationship together if there's no part of you, not even 1%, that wants to forgive your partner and wants to keep this relationship together. If there's not even an inkling of that, it's going to be really hard. But if there's some little bit of a spark there, a therapist can really help you in figuring out what forgiveness is going to look like and what it's going to look like to continue on in this relationship and heal it. So there is a lot of potential for healing to happen after an affair has occurred. There are a lot of resources out there to help with it. So that's something to consider, is before you throw in the towel. And even if you're on the fence, if you're like, I don't know if I want to stay in this, I don't know if I want to go. Again, that's at least the 1% of you that, is, maybe considering staying, just doesn't know what that would look like or how you get past it. To do your research, to read a book, to look into it a little bit, to decide if that's the path for you to go down. You may read that book, or you may try couples therapy, and you may realize afterwards, nope, this isn't happening. I can't get past it. I can't heal. We can't move forward. That's okay. You gave it a shot. You tried. So that's the argument for maybe considering trying to make this relationship work and stay in it after an infidelity has occurred. Now, on the flip side of that, the argument for calling it quits, throwing in the towel, ending the relationship, there are a couple big reasons when this may be the inevitable course of things. One is if your partner who did the cheating, had the affair, if they genuinely want to be with that affair partner, or if they just look you in the eye and basically say they don't want to be with you anymore. Either way, they may not feel a whole lot of remorse. They may feel some remorse. They may feel bad about how they hurt you, but if they're looking at you and going, but I'm in love with this other person who I've had an affair with, that's going to be nearly impossible to salvage your relationship, because the person who broke the relationship, in a way, and don't get me wrong, both people can have transgressions against each other that can, again, lead to one person eventually cheating. But that can lead to the person who did the cheating and, again, broke the relationship. If they don't want to pick up the pieces, it ain't going to happen. So that's a big barrier there, is if the person who did the cheating, if they want out of the relationship. That is going to be a struggle. And the other thing where this can be a struggle is, like I mentioned earlier, if this was a long-term affair, if this was an affair that involved sex as well as an emotional connection, those types of affairs can be tricky. Or if you find out that your partner cheated on you multiple times, right? And, they just didn't cheat on you once. Maybe you uncover that they cheated on you with 5 different people. Ooh, it stacks up, and that just becomes more and more to heal and more to work through. It can be done, but it's going to be more of an uphill battle than it might be for the couple where it was a one-night stand and that person's never going to see the person they had the affair with ever again. That's going to be really different than it's like, oh, I was leading a double life. That's different. That is harder. So the nature of the affair can really play a role in if and how the couple recovers. So that's something too to look at, and to really do some soul searching if you were the partner who was cheated on, of, can I get past all of this? Is there any possibility of me being able to forgive for all of this? It gets harder the longer it's been going on or the more frequently it happened. So those are some factors that can really make it hard, and where I would encourage you to maybe consider calling it quits. But as I mentioned at the beginning, and I'll wrap up this video by repeating myself and saying the same thing that I said earlier, there is not a right or wrong. There are couples who realize even if the cheating was relatively short-term, again, minor if we want to use that word, they can't stay together. And there are couples who rebuild after horrendous affairs. It can go either way. It's really going to depend on both of your guys' willingness to make this relationship work and to believe that there is potential for healing. If you have a question for me about love or relationships, send me an email, nextchapter.michelle@gmail.com. Thanks, everybody. Bye.